Hey everybody, time for another product to look at. Okay, so going back to veggie meat analogs again, just because that's just going to be a regular on this, just because that's what I tend to eat when I'm cooking with myself and my wife together. Okay, so today, the Trader Joe's high protein veggie burger. So this one's a little bit, I wouldn't say different. It's a veggie patty. The numbers are a little different than what you normally see with a veggie patty. So to start with, you get 2 patties per box, which is lower. Most of the frozen burgers that I've seen are 4-packs. Morningstar, either their regular or their black bean one or their veggie crumble one. Those are all 4 per, just like their chicken patties. Even the other Trader Joe's frozen burgers are 4-packs. So this is getting its own packaging with 2 per for whatever reason. The other big thing is the price for the box is the same, roughly. A Morningstar 4-pack is about $3.50 to $4 a pack. The Trader Joe's masala burgers, which are actually going to be one I review later this week, are for a 4-pack $2.49. These are $3.49 for 2. So we're going to find out why, because I'm curious why that's such a big deal. Part of it is they are larger. There's some heft to them. I mean, they legitimately are a bigger, heavier patty. I know it doesn't look like it in my hand, but I have a giant hand. So they're 260 calories each, which is a higher calorie count than any of the other veggie patties I've seen. Protein is 26 grams, and that is more than double what I've seen for any other veggie patty, which I do appreciate that. It's got good numbers there. Iron is 21%, I believe. 40%, so 6.9 milligrams. Iron is high. Sodium's a little high at 21%, so that's 480 milligrams. That's getting close to the Special K frittata quiche thing that I didn't like. So I'm worried it's going to have a bit of a greasy taste. I'm actually going to be tasting it right here with you guys for the first time. So it's 12 carbs with 4 grams of dietary fiber, which means you're looking at 8 net carbs, and none of that is sugar. So that's a plus. I'm thinking most of that's just going to be because it uses brown rice flour and pea protein. So that's probably where most of the carbs are coming from, and we can deal with that. Yeah, so first things first, we're going to try just the thing. So what I did notice right away is it's really crumbly if you bake it in the oven. But it's got a good crisp texture to it baked in the oven. Microwaving, I'm going to bet it crumbles just as much, but you're going to get a soft, floppy outside on the crust. It's very dry. I would say, texture-wise, it's probably going to be very inconsistent. It almost dissolves when you take a bite of it. And the flavor, there's not much of a specific flavor. I'm getting savory, but that's it. I'm not seeing much of an actual taste coming out of it, other than just a little bit of savory flavor of some sort, which could just be, frankly, there's a little bit of black bean I can taste in there, and that's about it. So at $3.49 for 2 patties, the question I have with this is it worth the cost? And if so, why? So the biggest concern I have with it, again, is that when you're paying $1.75 per patty, not even including the rest of the ingredients you're going to use to make a burger, that means you're looking at a $2 burger. Now that's what you're going to pay for, you know, just a Jumbo Jack. So with the sodium count high, you know, it's nice that it's no cholesterol, but I've never seen a cholesterol included veggie patty, so that's a given. Why justify it? I'm not sure. I'm legitimately at a loss on this one as why I need to make sure to have 26 grams of protein in a patty. So, especially when it's not going to be that great. I mean, I really like the Morningstar black bean burgers. Those are really tasty, and if you get them at Costco, you can get a half-pound patty. Sorry, a quarter-pound patty instead of the smaller frozen patties that you get from most of the supermarkets. Costco's got a bigger patty you can have, and those would be deliberate, I mean, immediate competitors for this. And I would pick those over this every time, just for taste and texture. This tastes like somebody made falafel, honestly, like a cheap falafel. And I get that it's pea protein, but I don't know. So that's based on just the bite of it itself. So let's see how it holds up with an actual sandwich bite. It's mush. The texture doesn't change on that at all. So that's interesting. So this is, I don't know if it's a positive review or not, because if I want a burger, I want a patty that's got its own unique texture and its own unique denseness in the burger. I don't want to have the spinach layer that I have on top of that be the one separate texture from the bread and everything else. So I'm not a big fan, I think. I'm not that big of a fan of the taste and texture. I think 26 grams of protein is really nice. I think the price is probably a little high considering it's only 2 patties, and the sodium's relatively high. So it's definitely not a diet food, I'll give it that. It's definitely not a diet food. 13 grams of fat, I forgot to mention that earlier. I feel like this is something that would be bought by a person who's trying to make sure that they have an option for their vegetarian friend, and they didn't know any better that there are better tasting and better texture options available. So if you're trying to do a really high protein diet and eat vegetarian, great. If you're diabetic, honestly, it's actually higher carb by about 50% than the Morningstars. The Morningstars have between 8 and 9 grams of carbs. This is 12. I know I said 8 net, but that's because of the fiber. And you take the fiber out of the other ones, and they're even lower than the 8 or 9 carbs. So I'm not seeing any real benefits for a diabetic to have these burgers, especially if you're not vegetarian like I am. If you're eating eggs, if you're eating turkey and chicken and tuna and meat, this is not going to benefit you as much as it advertises. And for what it is, being a frozen veggie patty, it's twice as expensive as its competitors. And I think, with all that being said, I don't know if I can recommend it. Trader Joe's does have other veggie patty options. We're going to try that masala one later in the week. And I know in the past they've also had some smaller patties that are not technically patties. They advertise them as their own like little vegetable mulch frozen things. But those have always been really tasty in the past as well. So I like those. So the brand is fine. I don't know if these specific ones are worth the cost. And especially when the masala patties are $4 for $2.29, I think is what it was. That's a great price. That's cheaper than you're going to find for the other ones. Anyway, that'll be a separate review. I'll go on to that later on in the week. For now, I'm going to enjoy this for the most part. Maybe I'll put a couple of pickles in there or something for some crunch. And I'll talk to you guys later.